Welcome to this week's Daily Dose of Emuna for Shabbat Kodesh. Today we're going to hopefully be able to tie in the last two Shabbat audios where we spoke about the levels of holiness, how to find Hashem through Ahava, through Yira. Today we're going to get a little bit more into that and try to differentiate between night and morning, and also the idea of Suda Shlishit. How are we able to close up Shabbat? What kind of feelings and emotions are we going through as Shabbat is closing its doors on us and we're slowly entering back into the weekday? So first of all, let's just go back for a minute on Friday night. On Friday night, as we said before, it's that level of Yirat Hashem. We work mainly on our Emuna on Friday night. On Friday night, because it's nighttime, we know at night it's a sense of concealment. That's when a person can't see. That's when we need, at most, our Emuna, so that we can get through those times where we don't actually see anything. We just have to trust in that which Hashem left us, the promises, the prophecies, and the unraveling of history as the sages have brought down to us. We have to trust in that will in fact occur, and that everything that Hashem, of course, promises us will in fact come true. Be'ezrat Hashem barachamim. And yet on Shabbat morning, that's a time of great joy. First of all, we're in the daytime. When we're in the day, we get to actually see Hashem, so to speak, himself. We feel the joy. We get to actually feel the Pnei Shechina. We actually get a sense of feeling that we could see that which we believe in. We have this sense of there's no concealment. I get to experience Hashem in such this grandness of Hashem. Nothing is there to conceal it. And so essentially on Friday night, it's a time where we have to do an avoda in order to perceive the holiness of Hashem. And yet on Shabbat morning, we get to actually experience the shining, warm, smiling face of Hashem. And so we get to have experience, if we've done our avoda, we get to experience dvekut and kedusha in a very strong way on Shabbat morning. Where does this bring us to in terms of the Suda Shlishit? The Suda Shlishit, Shabbat afternoon, is actually considered the third and the highest level of Shabbat Kodesh. And it's very, very long and complex, but it's interesting to find that Dafka during the Suda Shlishit, the Midat Hadin, the measure of judgment, is actually found the most on at that moment of Mincha as Shabbat is coming to an end. And one of the reasons the Chazal explain that we have this sense of Midat Hadin, which is the sense of Gvura that's coming our way on Shabbat in the afternoon, is because of the fact that we are slowly coming out of Shabbat Kodesh. And we understand that the minute we recite Havdalah, that's it. That closeness, that rachamim, that's not going to continue in the same level as we felt on Shabbat. That's not going to continue also throughout the weekday. And so therefore we experience on Shabbat afternoon this sense of a lessening, so to speak, of the rachamim, and an increase in the sense of Gevura and Dinim. And so the reason why this happens is so that we could better prepare ourselves. During Suda Shlishit, we can understand that it's a time where we have to start getting used to returning to the weekday, so to speak. So it's a time where actually Rachamim and Din are blended together in order to slowly phase us out and be able to connect to what's coming next, to the idea of the work week, and carry everything that we've experienced on Shabbat to have it flow into the rest of the week. So hopefully now we have a better picture of the phases that we can experience on Shabbat Kodesh. If we're aware of it, then maybe we can try to spiritually attune ourselves to be able to touch on all three phases of different ways of serving Hashem. Sometimes we have to serve Hashem through Yirah. Sometimes we have to serve Hashem through Ahava. And sometimes we have to serve Hashem even with the idea, which is actually called Tiferet, with the idea of Rachamim and Din put together, sort of packaged up. There's a good reason for it, and sometimes we have to serve Hashem from that place as well. So Be'ezrat Hashem, certainly we see from here that there is a lot of different ways of serving Hashem, and Be'ezrat Hashem we can really connect to all these different phases and therefore reach to a different level and train ourselves on a different level so that during the week we'll be able to be able to touch on the different points at different times of the week when does Hashem ask me to serve him in Yira? Oh, I know because I've experienced it Friday night. When in Ahava? Oh, I know I've experienced it Shabbat lunch, and so on and so forth. And Be'ezrat Hashem will be trained in our Emuna to be able to serve Hashem b'shilamut. We should have a wonderful Shabbat Kodesh filled with love and simcha.